Hi, everyone. I want to review a book called The Soul's Code by James Hillman. In this book, the author describes how the soul or daemon is different from self and how a soul selects the person and family that it inhabits. It's not a genetic component or a physical component of our nature, but rather it's more attributed to our character, our calling, or our fate. So the author describes how we have to unlearn some of the myths around fate, such as family of origin and cultural classification. He writes, each life is formed by its unique image, an image that is the essence of that life and calls it to a destiny. The family fantasy that has a child typed and pinned and wriggling on the wall forces fateful choices on the heart, choices to find another kind of fantasy. We're familiar with the many expectations to carry on the family business, become mother's little helper, or a chip off the old block. For some, it's a compliment, and for others, it feels totally alien and maybe very painful and threatening. The value of a parental fantasy, though, for the child is that it does force it into opposition and into a beginning recognition that its heart is odd, different, and unsatisfied by the shadow cast upon it by the family. As an example, consider that a significant part of the music industry profits are monetary proof of teens rebelling against parental demands and resisting the fantasies and norms of prior generations. This really resonates for me and my parents. I had the same name as my father, and his oldest brother had the same name as my grandfather. And those family names are really just another mechanism of control and reliability expressed through parenting. Has nothing to do with the soul, has nothing to do with our unique character or expression in this life. I see it myself as well when I encourage my kids to explore the arts. Some of those attempts to inspire them in that direction are really positive and creative, and others have the opposite effect. The author also describes that a mentor provides a more suitable ally to help draw down the soul than a parent. He describes specifically how Roland de la Santa was a mentor to the famous cyclist Greg LeMond, and how many times LeMond would visit de la Santa's workshop and could absorb the knowledge of an elder through stories and the atmosphere of a craftsman who built really high performance bicycles. As caretakers, parents cannot also be mentors. The roles and duties differ. It is enough for a parent to keep a roof over your head and food on the table and to get you up and off to school. Providing a cave of security, a place for regressions, is no small job. Free to these tasks, the mentor has only one: to recognize the invisible load you carry and to have a fantasy about it that corresponds with the image in the heart. So the soul is recognizable to us, but not necessarily in a visual way. We say things like, the actor embodied the character, or we say that we can feel the spirit of a place, or that we recognize the quality of something, or the mood of a song. When we are not looking with the eye of the heart, love is indeed blind, for then we are failing to see the other person as bearer of an acorn of imaginative truth. So, returning to character as defined not by family of origin as much as by our fate, we are snared in a delusional veil, believing that we are the agents of our own lives, while all along each life has been laid down in the acorn, and we are but fulfilling a secret plan in the heart. So, we have all had the sensation of resonance informing us that we are seeing something special and unique, or an alignment of physical beauty or skill along with the divine or something very soulful. He writes, the pull or purpose comes with force. You may feel full purpose, but what was it and how to get there remains undetermined. The soul's expression may appear confused about whether to sing or dance, write or paint. Purpose does not usually appear as a clearly framed goal, but more likely as a troubling, unclear urge coupled with a sense of importance. So I'd like to end by sharing a poem with you by Robert Frost. This poem is titled The Road Not Taken. Two roads diverged in a yellow wood, and sorry I could not travel both, and be one traveler. Long I stood, and looked down one as far as I could to where it bent in the undergrowth. Then took the other, as just as fair, and having perhaps the better claim, because it was grassy and wanted wear. Though as for that, the passing there had worn them really about the same. And both that morning equally lay in leaves no step had trodden black. Oh, I kept the first for another day, yet knowing how way leads on to way, I doubted if I should ever come back. I shall be telling this with a sigh, somewhere ages and ages hence. Two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference. Many people have put meanings to this poem over the decades since it was written, and a lot of the more common interpretations are that it's about the maverick who chooses to take a different path, who chooses a path that's less worn and not taken by others. But if you read it carefully, the paths are actually really similar. Um, it might have at first appeared to have less wear, but really figures out that they're pretty much the same. And so it's possible that Frost was starting to wrestle with the soul and the physical self in this poem, and that it really didn't have a lot to do with any sort of maverick choice or bold move, but about how much control we have or how little control we have in our lives and how much the soul influences the decisions we make. Thank you for listening. Hope you have a chance to read The Soul's Code by James Hillman. Look forward to seeing everyone really soon.